episode of Graceful Touch Speaks Out, where we hear from health and wellness practitioners, professionals, and those motivated within the arena on what they are passionate about and how the message they want to bring to the masses. I'm glad to invite today my guest, Ivory Howard. Let's go ahead and bring Ivory on in. Hello, Ivory. Welcome to the call.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
It's good to have you here. Good to have you here. And what we are going to be talking about today is health and wellness is different for everyone. Now, that's quite an interesting title. Why would health and wellness be different for everyone?
Absolutely. We all experience things in a different way, and that includes health and wellness, depending
Mm,
on what your race is, your location, your culture, and those all play an effect on your the impact of your health and wellness and how positive or negative that is, or what your experience is like when you're at the doctor or the care that you receive. So we all experience it in many different ways, of course, depending on your gender. So
sure.
there are many ways that we can experience that based on who we are, where we're located, and the culture that we live in.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, have you, based on that, and based on the fact that you're probably part of the entire you all, where we all, um, have you yourself noticed a different aspect, a different way, a different path to health and wellness for you yourself?
Well, I think for me, being in the health and wellness field and certainly being a public health professional, certainly I experience it differently because I am more aware of what the impact of the healthcare system, your healthcare provider, can have on your health. So maybe I'm not the usual Jane in this instance, but
Sure.
certainly I do experience it that differently than others, and certainly that has had an impact on my health. Being more aware of the pitfalls that can happen in the healthcare system, certainly in the U.S. healthcare system. So yeah, definitely, I have my perspective and the way I experience healthcare has certainly been different as well because I am more aware, but certainly, there are things that I still have to be aware of being an African American woman in the healthcare system and the things that affect us. So I'm acutely more aware of those things as well.
Sure. Now, you mentioned you're in the health and wellness or practitioner type arena. What is it that you do?
Sure, I am a yoga and Pilates instructor, but I'm also a health educator and public health professional. So that just means that I have a master's in public health, but I'm also certified as a health educator specialist to help
Wow.
people navigate many different aspects of their health. So it's not just fitness. Many
Sure.
people who are involved in fitness have to overcome mindset issues and behavioral issues to help them succeed in fitness and health.
So, if you could only pick one of those to be, I mean, I think you gave us like four different ways in which you're integrated in. If you could only give us, if you had to choose one, which one would win?
Well, those things are just tools in my toolbox to help a
Mm,
person have the be the healthiest person that they can be. So there are many different tools that your doctor might use to diagnose your condition or to help you have better health. And in my position, it's the same way. So it's not really about choosing just one. I'm one person to help you have better health, but I have many different ways that I can do that because we're all different and we all experience things in different ways. So that is why I have those different
sure.
tools in the toolbox.
So, how long have you had those tools in your toolbox?
Oh, many years, decades now. We are pushing into the decades now. So probably 20 years as a public health professional and about 16 as a fitness instructor.
Nice. So let's go back to before you had even one of those tools in your toolbox. You're looking at life going down the road, and you make a choice to start putting these tools in your toolbox. Was that a significant? I mean, was that a struggle? Did you have other options and whatnot? Was there a journey that took place?
It's not a spectacular or shiny journey at all. I think when you are in school and you're learning about the different options that are available, if you're interested in health, I think for many people that at that age, you assume that you are interested in medicine or that you want to be a doctor. But when you begin learning more about medicine and health, you understand that there are many different fields that you can go into in order to help people do what you'd like to do. So for me, that was learning more about public health. And at that time, there were only a few schools of public health, many different programs, but only a few schools, more comprehensive education. So I decided to do that. It was also a very exciting field. I'm sure once you learn about it, um, medicine and being in a hospital pales in comparison, but being in public health can be a very exciting and adventurous field to be in. Certainly, we've learned that living through a pandemic,
Right.
that these are public health professionals and they take on many different roles in society and help you with many different things. So decided to go into public health. So
Oh,
that's where I ventured off into in education.
so I think, and it's no problem. But I'm going to draw on it. I think I hear some sounds of kids in the background, perhaps. Let me ask you this. Number one, do I hear a little bit of kids in the background?
Oh, I'm like in a community environment, so there sometimes you might hear a person walking in and out,
Oh,
but
oh,
they are not mine.
yeah, okay. So what I was thinking when I heard those kids was, has this affected your family? Has the decisions that you made going towards the health practitioner aspect and what has that produced positive and or negative as outcomes within your family?
I mean, sure, I am the go-to person in my family and my friend circle to ask those health questions or if they are curious about anything in medicine. Um, and certainly helping them navigate the healthcare system and speaking with their doctor, their healthcare provider. So those are all things that I can certainly help my family members with, but many times it is directing them to their doctor or
Sure.
for more information, certainly research.
Awesome. What has been your best looking through your entire career, what has been your best uh, yeah, this is why I am a health practitioner, this is why I chose this path moment? Do you have one of those that is like, I knew this was my path and this is why?
Sure. Certainly, when you're working with clients and you're helping them overcome any issues that they have, and to see that working out can be a part of their life and it can be easy. But they just have to overcome certain hurdles that they have probably been putting up blocks for themselves into reaching their healthiest life. But helping them overcome those barriers, helping them be a more healthy person, helping them reclaim their health, and that is really rewarding to be able to see and help them transform into the person that they'd like to be.
Having been the person that went into the health and wellness area as a massage therapist in my 50s, I would absolutely have to agree with you that the whole aspect of watching how you're able to empower and help another person is just huge. I never would have chosen this field for myself,
Mhm.
but as it became me, it's been the best thing I've ever done in my life. Now, as it relates to your life, Ivory, what do you hope to do? Where do you hope to go in the next 2, 3, 5 years within your profession?
um, Certainly, I'd like to be able to reach more people to help them understand that plant based eating and fitness can help them avoid many of the chronic diseases that people suffer from in the United States, like diabetes, stroke, cancer. Those are all things that can be prevented with diet and exercise, and
Hmm.
certainly plant-based eating. So I just want more people to know that, and I certainly want them to know if they already have one of those chronic diseases that they can live a long, active, and healthy lifestyle. So just being able to reach more people, being able to share that message, being able to help them avoid chronic diseases that we suffer from in the US, that would be fantastic.
Mm,
Just let people know that they don't have to suffer from these things. They aren't destined to have them, that they can avoid them. And if they have them, they can live a long, active, and healthy life.
awesome. Now let's talk a little bit about plant-based diet. Here,
Sure.
your title for today is Health and Wellness is Different for Everyone. And then here you're encouraging plant-based diet. Now, I'm a vegan, so I'm right there with you as plant-based diet. But is a plant-based diet, number one, what is a plant-based diet?
Sure. I would define a plant-based diet as one without any animal products. Um, yeah, simply no animal products. So for many people, they might label that as vegan, vegetarian, but a vegan diet with no plant-based, no animal products. And I think the reason why we don't call it vegan is because it isn't necessarily related to the values of related to animals, but it's more focused on your diet, your lifestyle.
Interesting. So is one person's plant-based diet the same as another person's plant-based diet? Or it sounds like, based on what you're saying, health and wellness is different for everyone. Two different people could have two different plant-based diets.
Sure. Certainly in the US, we have to do much more work about educating people about what is necessary in their own diets. And if you decide to have a plant based diet, how you get those same uh, proteins, carbs, all the things that you need for a healthy diet, period, in general.
Sure.
Um, so it can be very different. It can be very healthy, or it can be very lackluster, filled with processed foods. So they can be very different. It's very much up to you to do your research and to certainly try new things, be willing and open. And certainly, when I speak to people about having a plant based diet, it's really about you loving and liking vegetables and not necessarily trying to replace your animal based products with vegetables or processed foods.
So here I am. I'm an individual that just really can't stand vegetables. But I'm coming to you because I know I've heard your message, and I believe that you've got something. How do I teach my body? Can I teach my body to not hate vegetables?
I I would just encourage you to start small. Try one meal a week where you commit to just having a plant based diet, and that gives you an opportunity to try new things. That gives you an opportunity to try different beans, different lentils, different vegetables that are seasonal. See what's available in your grocery store where you live, or maybe a cooperative or a farm nearby that has different things that may not be available in your grocery store, and try these things, see how you like them, try different recipes. You can start small. It doesn't have to be cold turkey to go from animal based to plant based diet. That's not really setting yourself up for success. Give yourself time to make the transition. And that transition for some people may be a few months or maybe a few years. Like, don't expect it to happen overnight. Certainly not happen overnight if you have been eating a animal based diet since birth, right? It's going to take time
Sure.
to undo that and to learn the different ingredients. It's not going, the ingredients don't always say plant based or animal based. Like, you have to learn the different ingredients. So give yourself time to do all of that, to learn something new, to try new recipes, to give yourself an opportunity to like different foods.
And could I also put on along with giving yourself time, more time, or give yourself time to allow yourself to mess up? In
Yeah,
other words,
absolutely. Because
here you have the whole plant-based going on. You've been doing it for a week and you mess up and you have beef chicken.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. So definitely give yourself time for these mistakes, and they're not really mistakes. They're going to happen. Even if you do everything perfectly, you'll go to a restaurant and a server will accidentally serve you an animal-based product. Or, after you finish something and you look at the package, you realize that one of the ingredients actually is an animal-based product. So it will happen. Expect it to
mhm.
happen and just recover from that and just keep moving. And it doesn't mean that if you have one of those animal-based products that you are no longer having a plant-based diet or plant-based lifestyle. That's not the case at all. Just keep moving forward.
Awesome. And so, tell me a little bit about who is your ideal client? Who are you
Sure.
looking to connect with?
I help busy professional women work out consistently and reclaim their health within 90 days. So that's the client that I most often work with.
Awesome, awesome. And so, if a person is a female who is wanting to make a change to their health, wanting to improve their health and get a better lifestyle, that's your ideal. But if a person's a man in the same boat, is that say that you're going to turn them away?
No, if they'd like to work with me
Right.
and they are open to the message that I have and the things that I do to help people reach their goals, then certainly that's a
Yeah.
possibility. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, how would these individuals connect up with you? How do they reach you so that they can take this conversation to the next level?
Absolutely. Feel free to visit my website at ivoryhoward.com, or you can connect with me on social on at Flatbelly Pilates.
Okay, so let's go over that just so people really get that. The website is Ivory, Ivory, Howard, HOWARD.com. Am I correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. And then for social, I'm not sure I caught on to that a little bit. So let's go over that again. How do I, and are you on just like all socials, or is there specific areas where it's better to connect with you?
You can connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok,
Mhm.
Flatbelly Pilates,
So
and
flat belly Pilates.
yes, Pilates. Yes,
Can you spell Pilates for me?
it's Pilates.
Okay, Pilates, plural. There you go. I didn't get that earlier. So flat, FLAT, belly, BELLY,
Hmm.
Pilates.
Yes,
And
that's
you're
right.
available on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
Yes, and on Twitter, I'm just Flatbelly.
And on Twitter, Flat Belly. So, and you do a good job of following the conversations on all those threads, or is there like a given social media that is your go-to?
I love Instagram, but you can feel free to contact me on any of those social media platforms, and I will definitely respond.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to go ahead and take you off the screen at this point. Just
Sure.
kind of speak to the audience direct. Then I'll bring you back in for some closing thoughts. Is that okay?
Okay, sounds great.
I'll be right back. All right. Well, we have heard today from Ivory Howard on how health and wellness is different for everyone. My name is Guy Severson. My wife and I own Graceful Touch Massage Therapy here in Rapid City, South Dakota. If you want to find out more about that, go to gracefultouch.org. If you want to find out more about our health and wellness products, go to gracefultouchproducts.org. And to find Instagram. And you can find me there at Pain Relief, the number 4, the letter U. Pain Relief for you. Now let's bring Ivory back in for some final thoughts. Ivory,
Hi.
thank you so much for your conversation and whatnot, and your information. I really have enjoyed this. What would you want to have as your, if a person only could take one thing from this conversation, what would you want that to be?
I certainly want them to know that the healthy life that they have dreamed of is possible for them, and they may just need a little help to get there. So certainly feel free to ask for that help, ask for what you need, ask for what you want, and you will definitely see others who are willing to help you with that and give you the help that you need to reach your goals.
In fact, if you don't ask, it's not likely that you're going to find that help and thus succeed, because we are people that need each other. And as you have questions, you need people just like you, Ivory, to be able to come along and become the coach, become the focus, become the person to guide the person to the next level of their health and wellness. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Ask for what you need so that you can get help.
Awesome, awesome. Well, once again, thank you for your time today. And if you want to speak with me more on Instagram, I always welcome it. And otherwise, you just have an amazing rest of your day, and we will be in touch.
Thanks, guys. Nice chatting with you.
Good talking to you.
Bye.